Tonight, Louisville Metro Corrections employees are soon going to have new top union leadership once the new president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 77, is sworn in. We thank you for joining us for Wave News at 11. I'm Jose Sosaya. The union's president-elect says his main goal once he takes over is improve working conditions for correctional officers. Wave News reporter Meredith Lee shares this update. Meredith.
Yeah, this isn't the first time Daniel Johnson has stepped into this position with the Fraternal Order after serving from 2020 to 2024. This time, though, Johnson says he has to make up for some lost ground with a staffing shortage that has gotten worse.
6 floors, more than 1,400 inmates, and around 100 officers short. Officer Daniel Johnson says that's the current status at the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections.
It's just more work than they can handle.
Johnson says LMDC has struggled with maintaining staffing for years. It's something he worked to correct when he served as president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 77, from 2020 to 2024.
We worked with council, we worked with the mayor's office, and we were able to come up with some type of solutions to, like I said, raise the pay, and we were starting to chip away at those vacancies, and it was getting better. But now we're in a situation where those things weren't continued.
Now, as Johnson prepares to take on that role again, he says the problem has only gotten worse, reaching what he calls a critical and unsustainable point.
You're basically a manager of anywhere between 300 to 400 people on the floor in a place, in a room that they don't want to be in.
Corrections officers already work mandated overtime, about 16 extra hours per week, he says. On those shifts, Johnson says the lack of manpower means officers are being overwhelmed with additional post assignments and duties, leaving gaps in surveillance that inmates are noticing.
And they see that, and they take advantage of that, and they know, oh, we've only got one person working the floor right now. If we're going to jump somebody, now's the time we're going to do it, or whatever type of plans that they're trying to come up with, and it adds to the dangers of the job, and it's a stressful environment just to be in.
Current LMDC Director Jerry Collins stepped into his role in 2022. That year, 5 inmates died from overdoses or suicides. Collins worked to stop drugs from coming into the facility through scanners, along with installing Narcan in the dorms to help inmates who might be overdosing. He also added master-level professionals to screen inmates for their mental state to avoid a possible suicide. Collins and the employees union worked to increase salaries for employees. Now Johnson tells me he plans to restart efforts to hire more correctional officers and increase benefits in hopes of turning the situation around and making the department safer for everyone.
And so it does take a special kind of person that want to come inside the jail and work. And, sometimes it's hard to find those people, but somebody's got to do it.
Johnson is set to be sworn in as FOP Lodge 77 president tomorrow evening. We reached out to LMDC to respond to Johnson's comments on the staffing shortage, and while they were not available to speak with us, we are expecting to hear from the chief tomorrow. Meredith Lee, Wave News.